Darren, no game at the weekend, postponed due to the weather. Was a bit of disappointment?
Yeah, God, we all know that we hate having a Sunday without any football, but it gave me a nice chance to see the family, watch some football on the telly. It was obviously Derby Day, which was good. Now we go into this Sunday on our own Derby Day. It's going to be good. Fair play to Paul and everyone at Crawley. They were there quite late on Sunday morning trying to get the game on, but the weather, it was just so wet, the pitch wasn't playable. So they did everything they could. You can't help these things, and it's been delayed by a week.
Of course, as well, it means it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks it's going to be by Sunday without a game. What does that make to your preparations?
It's actually helped us because when we went to Watford, we came away with quite a lot of injuries, and a lot of those injuries were 2 to 3 weeks. So we wouldn't have had we wouldn't have had a few players if we'd have played this Sunday. So now we've got that extra week. It's good. So all credit to our sports science team and medical team. They've got our players back. Like Lauren Cheshire, for instance, she can now play again. She's been cleared to play. Helen's back as well. So it's good that actually it has been delayed because that helps us out with some injuries.
I mean, you briefly talked about the injuries picked up against Watford, but how, as a whole, has the team been dealing with injuries? Because it's something that everyone knew about last year. Had a few niggles this year, nothing too major. How is everything going?
That's down to pre-season and planning, and we've brought a whole new warm-up into this. Phil Tiernan, the physio, I'll talk about him all the time because how good he is, but we brought a whole new different warm-up in, and this season you look at how many ACL injuries we've had compared to last season, and I look at other teams are struggling at the minute because they don't have the players available, whereas we do, and I think that's down to our prep and our planning in pre-season, and our strength and conditioning as well. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how that went in pre-season. Now we're reaping the rewards of what we did in pre-season.
And are you prepared for Crawley?
Yes, definitely. We're ready on Sunday. Like I said, it's good to have extra players back. It means it's a bit of a headache for us to be able to pick the squad now with the extra players back. I'm expecting a tough game, really tough game. I went to watch them a couple of weeks ago, and they're a very good team. They want the ball at their feet. They want to play football. I think their front line are going to try and get behind our back four as much as they can, and that's going to be a test. Now, we talk about, their front line want to be behind us, and our fullbacks have got to be on it. And if they're not, then we're going to be in trouble. So that's something that we worked on last week. This week we're going to do a little bit of strength and conditioning because we expect it's going to be a really tough game. And it's going to be a bit of a battle, but we'll bring that to the table. We enjoy that sort of game, but also we want to play football. We know Crawley want to play football. I think their back four are going to be tested, certainly by our front line, who have been playing really well recently. They've trained exceptionally well the last few weeks because we've concentrated. I know you and I have discussed not scoring many goals in a game. But the last few weeks we've been working really hard with our front line, and their attitude has been amazing, because sometimes it's difficult, isn't it? You get picked out by certain people and saying, oh, we're not scoring many goals, but actually we are creating the chances, we're hitting the target. Goalies are making saves and we're hitting the bar, hitting the post. So I've got nothing but praise for all of the forwards. They've done such a great job, and not only the forwards for the first team, but in our development squad, like Becca Bell's got 5 goals the last development game, so she was going to come and sit in our squad for last Sunday gone, and she deserves it. And this is the good thing with us, is our development are playing so well that we can bring up players from our development team.
And you mentioned it there, we're expecting a tough game against Crawley, but people will look at the league standings. Is that something that needs to be chucked out the window?
Yeah, God, it's FA Cup. Anything can happen. We said this last year. We drew Basildon, and you can sit there and say, oh yeah, we're confident and we'll win any game we can. But when you draw the team at the top of the league, you think, oh, this is going to be tough. And all of our cup draws have been horrendous this season on paper. If you look at it, we played Portsmouth, who, whether it is or isn't a derby, I know this keeps going on and about, but it's a local team to us, and it's hard to always play a local team, especially where a lot of our players are from. Makes it hard. We've got Billericay, who had all the C&K players. They were second in their league, unbeaten at the time. You got Crawley in the FA Cup, Crawley in the Sussex Cup if we get through Bexhill, and obviously Coventry in 2 of the cups. And Coventry are top of our league. The draws are really difficult, but again, you can sit here and say, oh yeah, you want to beat the best teams, but you're up with the way we're playing well, we're enjoying our football. And more importantly for me this Sunday, Crawley are a very good team. They're a very good club as well. They don't pay their players, we don't pay our players. They're here for the love of the club and what they want to do for the club, and the same at Crawley. They want to play football, we want to play football. It's going to be a great game. It's the FA Cup, anything can happen. And the best thing for me is I've got the best seat in the house sitting there. So I hope that me and Paul watch a very good game. Two teams know each other inside out. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Like you said, it's the FA Cup, so anything can happen.